Steve Franco, Consumer Homes, with several properties, and as evidenced by my clothing, I'm totally understand what the mayor was saying earlier about when your clients don't pay you, it's hard to pay your salaries. Yeah, I had to fire my painter, I had one I was so it's kind of an interesting thing. Two quick things, and I appreciate Mr. Mayor's time after the last council meeting to kind of fill me in. One question, and I feel I was an EMT, my best friend's a firefighter and a fire inspector in Massachusetts. I know where those guys are coming from and all of them work very hard. Mr. Mayor mentioned that there's a law requiring those union positions. And I'm just curious, what's the logic behind that law? Maybe is that a city council law? How do we investigate that? I've got no information on, nor do I have an issue with what these gentlemen and ladies are paid. I'm just curious about requiring it to be a union as opposed to being able to say anyone qualified can have this job and eliminate whether it be an actual cost or a perceived public relations nightmare of that. And similar, my other question goes to my comment of last week and related to the code issue. Where is, and maybe Mr. Mitchell would know this, where is the requirement? What is the logic for, or the requirement that licensed people do work on buildings? Are there more fires when permits are pulled in Yannico, Edwardsville, and Pittston, and inspectors go out and review the work? Are those inspections less good because they are inspected to the same law, but they weren't done by a licensed person? What's the logic that requires that be true in Wilkes Barre, and I know in Scranton and I think Hazleton, as opposed to the smaller communities, when the result of that is property owners like myself have difficulty making major upgrades to our property, who would like to put in 6 water meters, for instance, to respond to some kind of request. It simply isn't going to happen on a licensed contractor budget. Could happen on a full permit and do it the right way budget. Simply isn't going to happen that way. These abandoned properties, we all drive past around town. My company would be happy to jump in and repair some. Can't, it becomes not affordable at the cost of a licensed contractor. So I'm very curious to, and I'm not asking right now, because there are statistics that show why the city is sticking with the plan. Mr. Jordan and I have had this conversation a few times of staying on the required licenses. So those two things, and they're definitely research topics, I just don't understand.
Is that all your questions?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I can address the license issue. A few years ago, the state legislature required all contractors to be licensed with the state, have a state license number.
Registration,
correct.
Not passing a license exam. I have a registration number.
Right. What I'm saying is that the whole purpose behind that was to ensure that we're not getting taken by people who are claiming that. So you know the background on that.
Right, but the city will still won't need to work.
Well, if you pass the test or go through the...
2 different topics.
Right.
That's, and I'll be honest, the challenge for me is to pass the test. Besides becoming a master, I have to be journeyman for several years. As a property manager, number one, I have no interest in being journeyman with somebody else several years. Number 2 is, I don't do 90% of what's going to be on that test. I don't do foundations. If I'm asked how many inches is a 45-degree angle at 3-inch pipe, say, I don't know, I dry fit it, cut it, and when it's sloped down properly, I install it. So I don't know a lot of those things, and it doesn't forward, as Mr. Mayor and I know, then move forward my business. But being able to jump in and do the work myself and my crews would. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no, that's fine. I want to make sure I understand your question.
Yeah.
Why don't after the meeting we'll all
take
your and I'll email the stuff to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Franklin. Jim Walsh?